I'm Nick Catford, and I own my own ROC post, Royal Observer Corps post, which you can see around me. I first got interested in the Royal Observer Corps when my father was a member. In 1967, I think he joined the ROC, and he took me to his post at Headley. And then when he moved to a new post at Redhill, I saw that. So I knew about the ROC. And after the ROC stand down in 91, I thought it'd be nice to visit a few of them. So I started a survey of what were 1,563 underground ROC bunkers. And I started that in 1995, I think, and I visited the whole lot. And this was one of them, Billericay. Right, the Billericay Post opened in November 1937 as an aircraft observation post. It wasn't at this location, it was actually in Billericay town. It moved a couple of times to other places in the town, and then at the end of the war in 1945, the ROC were disbanded. But in 1947, they were reactivated with a low-level aircraft reporting role. So the start of the Cold War, there was a use for the Royal Observer Corps again. So Billericay was reactivated. And then in 1962, September 1962, it was relocated here to Little Bursted. Again, it wasn't an underground post at that time. A new aircraft observation post, an Orlit, was built at this location. But by that time, the ROC's purpose had changed from low-level aircraft reconnaissance to reporting incoming missiles and the effects of missiles. And the ROC at that point went underground. So they dug a bunker, a Royal Observer Corps bunker, this bunker, at the same location as the Orlit aircraft post, a few yards from it. And this post actually opened in August 1963. The post had various items of equipment. A fixed survey meter, this is a fixed survey meter, a bomb power indicator, which was a gauge on the wall, and that actually measured the power of the bomb, and a ground zero indicator, which was like a pinhole camera, and that was on the surface, and you put some photographic paper in that, and when there was a nuclear burst, the flash would record on the photographic paper. So they were the main pieces of equipment. The fixed survey meter, this is a Geiger-Müller tube. This actually measures the amount of radiation. It's connected to this little unit here, and it gets shoved up that pipe there. There's a long rod, and you push it up the pipe into a dome, which you can see on the surface, and after a nuclear detonation, that would measure the amount of radiation, the level of radiation. The main purpose of the ROC was to determine which areas were safe from radiation, from fallout, and which areas weren't. So all those all the measurements that they take in this post would be reported to their group headquarters, and they would determine which areas were safe to carry on with life. This is the radio box. The post needed to be in communications with group headquarters, and that was done by radio. Each cluster of posts, one of them would be a radio post known as a master post. So there would have been a radio here with a cable going up the shaft there. And as I came down the ladder, or as you came down the ladder, you may have noticed a pump-up aerial mast, which is bolted to the side of the ladder, and that would be mounted on the vent shaft, the top of this vent shaft, and an aerial would be mounted on top of that. So the post could always be in communication with their group headquarters. At the end of the Cold War, in 1991, the Royal Observer Corps was stood down, and the bunker was put up for sale after a few years. It was initially sold to a cell phone company, Crown Castle, with a view to putting a cell phone mast on the site. They bought a lot of bunkers for that purpose. Most of them didn't get used for one reason or another. Quite often they didn't get planning permission. So this one never had a cell phone mast. It was sold to a company called Millennium Communications, and they were taken over by Crown Castle Communications, and they contacted me in 2003 because they wanted to dispose of 55 unwanted ROC posts on their books. And knowing that I knew something about ROC posts and had visited by that time all 1,563 of the ROC sites, they employed me to go around the country opening up 55 posts, and it was a matter of travelling from Land's End to John O'Groats. It really was the whole country. We had to open up the posts, take photographs, secure them with new padlocks. They gave me a massive box of keys, so they said you should be able to get in. Unfortunately, there were no labels on any of the keys, so we didn't know which post the keys fitted. And if we found the right key in any case, the lock might well be seized, so we didn't know if it was the right key and the lock was seized or it was the wrong key, so we just cut them all off. It was the easiest thing to do. So we put on cheap Squire combination padlocks, and then they made them ready for sale on eBay, strangely enough, is where they were sold. But I made an arrangement with them that I got quite a good fee for visiting the country. They paid a good fee plus hotels and food and petrol, so it was almost like a holiday for me. But part of the deal was I would get a post of my choice for their legal expenses, which were £200 per post. So I got the Billericay Post in 2003 for £200. But the purpose at that time was to restore it, to fully restore it to the condition it had been in. I knew I wasn't in a position to do that on my own, so I sold shares in it to 4 friends. Is it 4? 3. 3 friends. So there were 4 of us in total. So we're all here today, and now we own the post and we're responsible for its restoration. You see a lot of restoration here. This isn't what we've done because the local landowner decided he was interested in the history of it. So we gave him permission to look after the post, and he's responsible for a lot of what you see in the bunker today. And he also keeps pigs, so they're kept in the compound. And if anyone has seen any of the pigs, they wouldn't enter. They wouldn't want to enter the compound. So it keeps everything safe. So we like it like that. Well, it's good to meet you again, Jane. It's a year or so since we've been together at the bunker. Does it bring back happy memories for you?
Very happy memories, Nick. Yeah, I remember when we first came here and we actually had to cut our way through to the hatch with a chainsaw because it was so overgrown with brambles.
Yeah, times change. I'd like to... The original plan was to fully restore it. That's not been done yet, but we do have all the equipment. Some of it's here, some of it I've got at home. So the plan is still to get it fully restored and have a public open day, but it hasn't happened yet. I hope it will one day.
Well, COVID rather put a big spanner in the works, didn't it? So we couldn't come here at all for years.
No. But at least the bunker is secure. We've got our porcine security, which hopefully will stop any intruders, and we have our caretaker Ryan. So I think we've still in a good place, and we've got a very important part of Cold War history which we're looking after.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of these posts left, but so many of them are falling into disrepair, or in the case of the one in Yorkshire, actually falling down the cliffs at the moment.
Yes, very sad that was. I visited that years ago, and it was sort of 90 metres from the cliff, and now it's on the beach. So that's what can happen.
Yeah, no, but with the four of us and Ryan, you know, with any luck, this one will be here for a long time yet.
Well, everybody, I can truly say that we have been incredibly spoilt today on Phoenix History to document this wonderful ROC post in fantastic condition, with pig noises in the background as well for some special effects. I just want to say thank you so much to all of the people here involved. Some of them would like to remain quiet, which is totally fine. And Nick, thank you so much. More importantly, mate,
it's my pleasure,
really
Dan. I like your channel. I think it's important to record our history, and I think you're doing it in the right way. So
really appreciate
I'm happy to help you as much as I can.
Thank you so much. Photos, by the way, have been provided by Sophie in the background, and just a wonderful opportunity to explore. I didn't think we'd ever get to a stage where we see an ROC post that's protected by a pig. But there's a first for everything these days, isn't there? But it's a dedication these individuals here in the story. I mean, if you could hear the stories off camera, this was absolutely like a gem for me. My eyes were just so engaged in the history that these wonderful people have been doing the hard work of like documenting and taking photos of these wonderful places. So thank you to all of you, by the way. It's been incredible. And more importantly, just this is what it's about, isn't it? History matters, preserving these wonderful relics of time, hopefully for generations to come. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll hopefully see you on another video soon. Thank you, everybody. See you later. Bye.
Right.
Bye.